what happens is that a lot of people come on to me all the time for advice. They write to us on mail. They make phone calls. They want appointments. So what I'm going to do every week, like I promised you before, we went on the break, is that I'm going to tell you a secret. Somebody say secret. Secret. All right. The secret I'm going to tell you today is titled, Don't Come Out Until You're Ready. Tell somebody. Don't come out until you're ready. Great. I'm going to tell you a short story, true life story. Now, back about 14 years ago in the year 1999, 2000, when I decided I wanted to be a comedian. Now, back in those days, if you wanted to be a comedian, you had to pass one test. There was one test you had to pass before the established acts could accept you. And if only the established acts accepted you, that was when the public was going to accept you as well. Now, in those days, there were a few of them. There was Ali Baba. There was the late Mohammed Danjuma. There was Basoj Taria. There was Okeba Kasi. There was Julius Agu. Yes. These were the guys. Did I mention Basoj already? These were the strong guys in the industry. Now, you could gain their respect only by performing in one show then. It was called the Night of 1,000 Laughs. Now, I know you think you know the Night of 1,000 Laughs, and I'm not suggesting that the standards have dropped. But back in the day, it was a big deal. These days, I've seen some guys who have gone on to comedy fame without going through Night of 1,000 Laughs. But in those days, it was practically impossible for you to do that. Now, you just could not even get on Night of 1,000 Laughs just like that. You had to do an audition. And when I say audition, I'm not talking about those funny things you see on television where there are 4 judges sitting behind the table and then you enter an empty room and then you tell a few jokes. No. The audition of Night of 1,000 Laughs was held 2 days before the main event. It was at a bar in Yaba called OJ's. Anybody remember OJ's of those days? You remember OJ? OJ is in Yaba. You remember? You look like a drinker. Anyway, now back in those days, around 11 p.m., all the established comedians would gather, all the established movie actors, all the established musicians. So you would have sometimes Ali Baba, you would have Okeba Kasi, you would have Mohammed Danjuma, you would have all these guys, you would have Sam Loko Efe, you would have Fred Amata, you would have established guys, Zubi and Nebeli. You remember Zubi and Nebeli? They'd all be there, talking. Some would be drinking. 11 p.m., you would all get there. Around 1 a.m., the new comedians would be called to perform. Now imagine you, a new comedian, wanting to entertain Sam Loko Efe, who might or might not have been shocking. This was 1 a.m. Now, the day I was to audition, there were 5 of us. I was with my friend in the University of Lagos. I won't tell you his name now, but let's call him Chooks for short. Chooks. I was with Chooks. Chooks and I were talking. Behind me was a young man who was skinny. He had been sitting like this all night. I could understand that the tension that was killing me was killing him as well, but he didn't have anybody to talk to. I was taking my tension out on Chooks. Now, that's 3, right? Behind 3 of us, there were 2 guys. One was wearing a red suit like your dress, madam. The other was wearing a green suit. The 5 of us. At 1:30 a.m., the MC, Babadi, remember Babadi? Babadi called us, said, yes, it's time for the new guys. We want to do the show day after tomorrow. Please welcome the first guy from University of Lagos, Chooks. And they clapped and Chooks came out. Have you ever seen anybody die on stage before? As in die a violent death. Have you ever seen anybody perform so bad that the audience got annoyed? They wanted to beat him. I think at some point, Fred Amata got up and said, leave that place, my friend. And Babadi came and snatched the mic and he said to him, my friend, if you know you can't entertain us, leave this place. Then he looked at the rest of us. And the other 4 guys coming, I hope you're here to entertain. If you know you can't do this, it's not by force. Go home. He said, the other guy too is from Unilag. I hope he's funnier. These were the circumstances under which I was introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome all the way from Unilag, Teju. My stomach had left. As in my stomach wasn't a part. I saw my legs walking out of the door. As in I was dead already. This was about to 2 a.m. Somehow I managed to find myself on the stage and I started to tell my jokes. But you see, the thing was, I had been rehearsing those jokes for about 2 months. My comedy mentor then, Basoj Taria, had made sure that I had told him those jokes over and over and over again until even I was sick of hearing the jokes. I told my brothers, I told my sisters, I told my mom, who was a bit sympathetic. My father wasn't sympathetic then. My father, you want to be a comedian? Did I send you to school to be a... What nonsense? You want to be an Ali Mama? That's what he said. That's actually what my father said one day. You can ask my friend Bumi Davies of Stand Up Nigeria. My father said, one day when Bumi was there, if you like, you can be an Alu, you can be a Babas, you can be an Ali Mama. He said that. Anyway, I had rehearsed this joke so many times that regardless of how afraid I was, when I got on stage on automatic pilot, I just started saying them, regardless of how scared I was. So I threw the first one. They laughed small. I threw the second one. More laughter. The third one. More laughter. The fourth one. Applause. By the fifth one. Now, by the time I did my last joke, they were laughing. They were, hey, this guy, na correct guy. So as I was getting off the stage, the producer of Night of 1,000 Laughs, Mr. Pa Williams, handed me a pass. Now, there were only 2 passes available that night. Did I mention that? There were 5 of us, but there were 2 passes to enter the event. So he gave me, he said, you are on. As I was leaving and they were clapping, the young man who had been sitting behind me all night, the skinny one who had been doing like this, he was called. I remember as he passed beside me, I thought to myself, you don't die. Look, in my mind's eye, I literally thought nobody could beat what I had just done. In fact, so arrogant was I, so confident was I, sir, that I didn't even wait to see his performance. I went outside with my men. Hey, oh boy, we went to laugh. This guy was one of them. This guy that plays the deaf and dumb in Fuji House of Commotion, Jude Aurora. What's his name in the play? Benro. So he came and said, oh boy, I don't know, say you funny like this. So we're outside as the other young man was performing. 30 seconds, we heard the first laughter. Bam! I said it was a fluke. 30 seconds later, we heard another one. Bam! Louder than the first one. Oh boy, it's like this boy is na fluke. 1 minute later, we heard laughter and applause. We still didn't go. About 1 minute later, just 4 minutes into his performance, we heard noise that was like laughter, applause, and people falling down, screaming. So we ran inside. Wait, hold on. We ran inside. No, wait. We ran inside. With every line that he dropped, they were dying. Every line that he dropped, they were falling out of their chairs. They were laughing. At some point, they decided to throw money on stage. That was how funny he was. I was like this. As soon as he finished performing, he said, thank you very much. My name is Basket Mouth. So he came off the stage. Now, I had heard about him. I remember that a few months ago in University of Lagos, a friend had told me about some guy called Basket Mouth. But then in my arrogance, I thought, no, I was the hottest thing in Lagos. Anyway, so he came off the stage and we became very good friends. Now, 2 days later, he performed at the event. Let me tell you the way my mentor, Basoj, put it to me after the event. He said, all of you tried, but that boy, Basket Mouth, he took all of you to the cleaners. He said he was the standout star of that event. Later, as Basket Mouth and I will become the best friends during those years, he would tell me that he had been performing for 2 years in Uniben. Now, if you have ever been to the University of Benin, you know it is literally one of the most difficult places to perform on the face of this earth. I once performed there. He invited me. In fact, let me change it. He tricked me. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. Just out of experience. Other people weren't so lucky that night. So he told me how in the beginning it used to be hard. And then he told me that it's not like Lagos. So people are nice in Lagos, he said. He said in Lagos, when they are telling a joke, people actually sit down to hear. Take, for example, he get one man, you people are quiet. The man woke up one morning, you are quiet. He entered this car, you are quiet. He said in Uniben, it's not like that. They help you to finish your own joke. So he get one man. Which man? He wake one man. If I not wake, he enter in car. Where did they go? He said he did this for almost 2 years. And only when he was sure that he had mastered Benin, he knew that he could master Lagos. He taught me a great lesson. Do not ever come out until you are ready. Every year I meet hundreds of young people. I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. I'm a this. I'm a that. All sorts. A few years ago, a young man came on to me. He came up to me rather. He spoke so well of his own talents. He disturbed me on the phone with text. He wrote letters. I'm talented. I'm a brilliant comedian. So finally, I gave him a chance. He thoroughly messed it up. Over the years, he has tried to come and re-perform for me. But somehow, no matter how Christianly I am, no matter how good I am, I cannot just shake that image of mediocrity from the first time. You will usually never get another opportunity to make a first impression. And you know what they say, first impressions last. It is very true. My father used to say, you know this one, make hay while the sun, you know that one. The one you don't know is the second one, make haste. Exactly. The first time my father asked all of us at prayer meeting, he said, make hay while the sun shines, you know that one. But make haste Nobody knew. Make haste slowly. It sounds like an oxymoron. How do you make haste? Slowly. Make haste slowly. It means that whenever you feel a leading in your heart to be, say, a comedian, make haste. Start on it. Start to read. Start going to shows. Start buying DVDs. But be slow. Don't come out and establish yet. One day your mind will tell you when it is time. So you think you're going to be a pastor? Great. Go to churches, buy CDs, read the Bible, go to Bible school, but wait for your time. Don't come out and declare I'm a pastor. Then perform miracle now, you can't look. Your mind will tell you. You will know from here when it is time. Make haste slowly. Do not come out before you're ready. Stay with us. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.